Hey guys, it's Jessica. Welcome back to my channel. Today on the 7th day of Bookmas, I have a book unboxing. So I got this huge box. Oh, it's a big box. I did an order from BookOutlet in their Black Friday sale this year, which as I'm filming this, it is about 2 weeks later. So it took about 2 weeks for this box to get here from Canada. If you don't know anything about BookOutlet, they are not a sponsor. I am not sponsored. I just really like their prices. So BookOutlet has essentially books that have been returned, I think, to the publisher that are then resold, and they're new books, but they have maybe a line or a dot or something like that going across the side of the pages. But if you don't care about that, all of these books were, I think, $6 US a piece. And the shipping is kind of slow because it has to come from Canada. But anyway, so I don't really remember what I ordered because it has been a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and try to open this up and see what we have. It says on the package, it says, warning, may contain awesome books, which I kind of enjoy. So let's see if we can, it's got a little pull tab on it. Oop. That was aggressive. All right, here we go. We have books shipped in a box with absolutely no padding or packing material whatsoever. But hopefully they have survived their journey all right, considering that one side of this box looks like a truck ran over it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to pull things out of the box and see if I remember why I bought them. So the first thing I have here is going to be A Short Walk Through a Wide World by Douglas Westerbeek. I read this book earlier this year in, I guess it would have been maybe February, March, something like that when it first came out. And I absolutely loved it. It is a magical realism story, kind of in the vein of Addie LaRue, about a young woman who cannot stay in one place or she will literally get sick and die. It's got a lot of stuff to say, a lot of really interesting kind of philosophical ideas, and I really loved it. So I wanted to own a copy, and you can see here, there's that dot. I don't know if you can see that or not right there. That is going to be the only thing that is making this a little bit cheaper. So I am very happy about that. And it got a little crinkled in the box, but nothing too bad. I'm happy with that. Now we have, what is this? We have Locklands by Robert Jackson Bennett. And this is the third book in the Foundry series. First book in that series is Foundry Side. I haven't read this one. I have read books 1 and book 2. Book 1 is 5 stars. Book 2 is 3 stars, but I want to finish out the trilogy and see where I fall. I feel like I'm probably going to regret buying this a little bit just because it's a hardcover and I can't find the first book in hardcover anywhere for under a really expensive price because I think it's out of print. So if you happen to see one, let me know because I'm on the lookout for Foundry Side in hardcover, but I am really looking forward to reading this one. This is a story that has a really unique magic system where basically people can talk to and persuade inanimate objects to do what they want. And then next we have, I think I ordered all hardcovers. This is What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez, I think. And this is a story, it's a young adult story. It came out this year. It is about, I believe, an Egyptologist. Is that right? Archaeologist, Egyptologist, something like that. In 19th century Buenos Aires, it says, is where it starts out. It's called Mummy Meets Death on the Nile. And that sounds like a really great thing to me. And I enjoy that this one was returned to the publisher by the store Meyer. If you're in the Midwest, you know. But I am really looking forward to reading this one. And there is a sequel out now also, I think. Okay, moving on. These are all upside down, so I can't see what they are first. And this one was returned by Target, and it is Clytemnestra by Costanza Caza. This is a Greek myth retelling. I don't know very much about the mythology behind the story, but I do know that I'm very into Greek retellings and that I have seen several people read it this year and really, really love it. So I'm excited about this one. I was really excited to pick it up. This one has like a tiny, tiny little bit of damage. It looks like to the inside cover, like there's a little place where it's come loose, but that is not enough for me to care considering how inexpensive it was. And then next we have The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. This is a Mexican retelling of the story Rebecca, and I read it earlier this year, gave it 5 stars, absolutely loved it. Would 100% recommend it, and I can't tell from this one where it was returned from, so that's sad. But anyway, this one's in perfect condition, doesn't even have any shelfware on it or anything. So excited about that. And then I got 2 books, it looks like they're here together, that are both from the same series, and that's going to be Shauna Maguire's Wayward Children series. So I have Where the Drowned Girls Go. Hold this back here because it's not going to want to focus. And then I have Mislaid in Parts Half Known. So I haven't read these 2 yet. These are beyond where I am in the series, but I am planning to catch up as soon as I can. I love this series. It's about children who fall through magical portals and the effects that happen when they try to come back to real life, and it's not as awesome as their wonderful, perfect magical portal worlds. So these 2, I know my boyfriend Sean has already read, but I have not read these 2, and I'm collecting them all, and I am excited about that. And then I have, this one's, oh, I got a paperback. I got 1 paperback, I think. I got How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. And I know this is like a, kind of like, I think, a interconnected short story, science fiction story. I know that this came out last year. It was up for a lot of awards, and I've heard a lot of really good things about it. So this one I was excited to pick up when I saw it on the website, and this one doesn't have any damage or anything like it on that, as far as I can see. We have A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. This is the 2nd book in this series, and I can't remember the name of the series. I haven't actually read the first book, but when I saw this one, I went ahead and picked up the 2nd one just because I love Hank Green so much, and I'm really certain I'm going to love this book. It is on my list of books that I definitely want to read in 2025. So I was pretty excited to see that one, and I know it is science fiction, and I don't know a lot more about it than that. And then we are kind of getting down to the bottom of the box here. I picked up a copy, this one's from Target, of What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher. And this is the 2nd book in her Sworn Soldier series. This one is kind of about like hauntings and spirits and things like that. It's a super, super charming series of novellas, and they have really amazing end papers that are illustrated by Shauna Maguire herself. At this point, I would say that I basically collect all of Shauna Maguire's books when did I say Shauna Maguire? I've been saying Shauna Maguire the whole time. I was stuck back earlier. T. Kingfisher's books, I just love her. And I love Shauna Maguire too, apparently. This is a great book. If you haven't read this series, definitely check it out. I don't actually own the first one yet, but I am planning to pick it up as soon as I find it at a better price than I've seen it so far. And we have a couple more in here. We have another T. Kingfisher. This one is Thornhedge. And this one I have actually not read. It's another novella, very short. And this one is, oh my gosh, look at that toad. Look at that little toad. Is this one I don't know if this is an actual retelling of a fairy tale. I don't think that it is. It says, meet Toadling. On the day of her birth, she was stolen from her family by the fairies, but she grew up safe and loved in the warm waters of fairyland. So is she a toad? That is possible. I don't know, because I don't know that much about it. But this one's on my want to read list. I'm just working my way through all of her books, so I'm going to get to this one eventually. So I went ahead and picked it up because I know I'm going to want to own it. And then another paperback, we got The Deep Sky by Yume Kitasei. And I haven't read this one. I read her most recent book, which is called The Stardust Grail, which I would describe as Indiana Jones in space. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't a 5-star read for me, but it was probably, you know, somewhere around a 3.5, 4-star, but I really thought it had a lot of potential. This is her other book. This is a sci-fi. I believe it's kind of a everybody's got to get off this planet because the planet's dying kind of story. Yes, it is the eve of Earth's collapse. One ship carries humanity's last hope. So that's really all that I know about that. But that is always a plot line that I enjoy. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. 2 more books in this box. We have Ocean's Echo, which is the, it's not really like a sequel, I think, to Winter's Orbit, but they are, I think, related to each other in the same world. So Winter's Orbit is a sci-fi queer romance story that I really, really loved. It's one of my favorite books that I read in the past year. This is not a direct sequel, but another book in the same world, I think. So I have been really wanting to read this one, and now I own it, so I can get on that in 2025 as soon as possible. It says, "The past echoes against the unimaginable scale of the universe." And I know it's a romance. This one maybe, I think, is supposed to be a little bit less romance than the first book. And this one, it doesn't have any dots on it. It does have a tiny, tiny little tear on the bottom of the spine. And I already own the first book, so those are going to look just lovely together. And I have one more book. This is another novella. This is The Mimicking of Known Successes by Malka Older. I know that this is a science fiction mystery story and also a love story. And I absolutely love things like this. I think it might be a little bit Sherlock Holmes inspired. It says, "A cozy gas lamp mystery and sapphic romance set on Jupiter" by the author of the critically acclaimed Sentinel Cycle. So I know that there are 2 books in this series, and I think there is a 3rd one coming out this year. I haven't read anything by Malka Older yet, but I have heard very good things, and I am looking forward to reading this one soon. So that is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 books that I got in my book outlet order. I personally feel like I got a very good deal. Most of these books are in basically new condition. There's a couple of them that have some shelf wear and things like that, but not anything I think that is too bad. And for $6 a book for titles that I don't often see in the used bookstore, I cannot complain. It seems like their stock changes constantly and you just kind of have to keep an eye on it. Usually things are a few dollars more. This was extra cheap, so I don't know if I would order when they weren't having a big sale, but next time they have a big sale, I will definitely be on there again, checking it out. Yeah, and so with that, as I said, I just got home from work. I have locked the cat in the room with me, and he is giving me eyes right now, and so I think it is time for me to say goodnight. I hope that you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.